flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion to approve the minutes of the September 29th, 2025 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Approve the employee claims filed with County Auditor for $1,400 $1,418.20.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approve claims filed with County Auditor for $338,269.45.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Approve the resignation of Jordan Garrey, Conservation Technician Internship, effective September 30th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Approve the monthly report from the Recorder's Office for $13,586.13.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Approve the minor plat for Jonas Kunze and Mark Gaffney.
There's second.
Okay, so this was rezoned to R1 residential and was approved by the supervisors on March 31st, 2025. It's located in section 16 of Middlefield Township. This is an aerial image of the overall parcel as it is currently. This is what they had rezoned, the 2 acres from A1 to R1 residential. This is what the platted survey looks like. So basically what it did from the rezoning request. From the minor plat checklist, the municipal fee was paid. We obtained the aerial survey overlay. We received the attorney's opinion, which is just the simple title opinion in your packet. The legal description, the lender's consent was not needed, as there was no mortgage attached to this property. And then the owner's consent, and then just the plat of survey. So plat of survey is just the black and white copy. We didn't receive that, which is fine. We prefer the aerial image. And then we received the treasurer's certificate and approval from the engineer, auditor, and assessor were all obtained. So this is just the final step to approve the minor plat. So Josh and his wife can build their house. And he is present today if you guys do have any questions for him as well.
I remember as a child that there were a bunch of houses back there, so it's good to see the development again. One of the reasons they took out the houses was the flooding back there, and granted, we didn't have Highway 20, we didn't have all those things. You think you got enough area to put your house up there without getting flooded? I remember there was a good spot back there.
I don't know if there's ever any houses on this particular spot. If Arnold was here, I think he would agree, but yeah, there's quite a bit of elevation from where that creek comes through from where we're putting our house. So.
Yeah, I remember, we even spoke about it. I said, even as a child, I said, there's plenty of room. It's too bad the house wasn't moved over 100 foot.
Yeah.
So, the conversation became whether or not you could get in or out at that point from that house if it was flooded, but
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So,
What was the CSR on that? Person?
I don't remember, let me pull out the,
This was this pasture land?
just,
It's been pastured for years. Yeah.
yes, and like you
Yeah.
can tell the row of trees there on the west side that they planted.
And then it looks like you have a row of trees on the other side too.
Yeah.
Like you just planted them.
Yeah.
Good windbreaks.
Right.
Oh, we just need a motion to approve the minor plat then?
Yep, I'm pulling up the CSR request.
Yep.
And we've already rezoned it.
That is correct.
Okay.
I know I can't get it up there, but it was 5, which kind of runs through the little southeast portion, and then 76 then to the top. And the discussion at that time was getting the farm equipment running through there. It's gonna be pretty tight. And then the row of trees that they had already established.
Any more questions or need a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minor plat for Josh Kunze.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
When's construction start?
Let's just say we're behind, but
Hopefully
it's
it
not
goes
how it always
smooth.
works.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the quarterly report from the auditor's office for $72,399.30.
I'll make the motion.
A big portion of that
Yeah.
was, a payment from contract law enforcement. It just runs through our office. So it's split out into different funds, that amount is.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And approve the monthly budget report. Packet.
Still really the only one, like I spoke of last month, was the court, and that's due to court ordered attorney fees. We'll have to do an amendment on that, but otherwise, for the most part, everything looks very good. Unfortunately, I'm sure we'll be doing an amendment for my budget due to this equalization order. That by law, we have to send out, have to get it out this week. I did reach out to some mailing services because my staff and I do not have time to print and stuff 1,500 letters. I did get the quote back and $1,318.80 is the estimate as of right now. So that is going to chew up my postage and printing budget. So there will be an amendment coming on that, but there's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
Too bad it's timed right in election season.
Cameron, why not?
I'll make the motion. We approve the quarterly report.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next, items for discussion, place on file the following manure management plans.
Wanna do the monthly budget?
We did that. In fact, that was what we just did.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. Thank you.
Place on file the following manure management plans, B&K Fork LLC, Byron Township, Section 5. Charles Ward, Newton Township, Section 23. Primo Pork West, Buffalo Township, Section 4. And Primo Pork East, Buffalo Township, Section 10.
I'll make the motion to place those manure management plans on file.
Excuse me. I'll second.
Fair?
Aye.
Thank you. And next, we need to set the public hearing for the Rossburg subdivision final plat.
Oh, that resolution was here in your packet. I got it set for October 13th at 9:25.
I will make a motion to set the public hearing for the Rosberg subdivision final plat on October 13th, 9:25 in the morning.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Okay, then set public hearings for zoning request.
Okay, Amber had sent me 2 requests that they had received. The first one is for Ryan Anther. That's set for October 27th at 9:15. And then the second one was for Cole and Allison Davis. And that is set for the same day, the 27th, only at 9:20.
Make a motion to set the Public hearings for the zoning request for Amber, and it's 9:27, on 9:27 at 9:15 in the morning, and for Davis on 9:27 at 9:20 in the morning.
10/20.
Yeah, sorry, October 27th.
I'll second the October, yeah.
Favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
5 minutes. I got a couple things, just a little FYI. I received a phone call on Friday from Renee Van Boken. She is retiring December 31st.
That's our labor attorney.
Yes, she's the one that does all of our negotiating. So we will need to reach out to an HR attorney to try and get something contracted. We spoke that we already have a working relationship with Ehlers and Cooney. So I did reach out to Mike Galloway. He's getting us some figures, and this was all after the agenda went out. So I will probably put that on the agenda for next week.
Can you reach out to Lynch Dallas too, because Lynch Dallas does do labor relations and they did a good job for Jessup, and I know they handle independence also.
Who's our existing HR attorneys, or do we need somebody?
Ehlers and Cooney.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be for the labor talks that we did.
Well, I know he did say that via email that, because we already use them now for numerous items. There's two ways to do it. We can do it as an as-is basis, or we can do like a monthly contract with them. But like I said, I do not have any of that information back. Once I get everything, it will be presented to you folks.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have,
Multiple people bid and all those conversations.
Okay, the next thing I have is the vehicle parked out front, which is fine. There's absolutely nothing we can do about that.
Oh.
However, as next Wednesday is when absentee voting starts, that means this is a precinct. And it will have to be moved because it can't be within 300 foot. If it doesn't get moved, unfortunately, we will have to have it towed. I think that's all the fun news I had. I got 2 minutes.
I got a phone call from a resident last Friday about wind damage up at the Kent Cemetery, which is one of the pioneer cemeteries in the northeast corner of the county, and there's a big tree down there. And I contacted Bill Reedy to let him know, but they're gonna have to do something with it.
Yeah, when he called twice, I called him back too, so I also talked to him. I went up there, I just happened to be going up that way anyway, so took a picture. There's some pretty big logs back there, so it seems like somebody might wanna buy those logs.
Big tree.
So if you don't mind, I'll reach out to the Pioneer Cemetery Commission and see if they don't wanna talk about, working out some sort of request for proposals.
Yeah, you're certainly welcome to give Bill a call.
Yeah. Those are monstrous. I would say they're at least 3 foot in diameter pine trees, so seems like somebody could make use out of them. Maybe clean up the rest of it while they're at it.
if there's enough of them, sometimes they won't come, they won't if there's not enough. But if there's enough for somebody to come out and use them, I like repurposing and reusing.
I haven't seen a log this big pine tree. It's big, so somebody might have a special use for it.
Yeah.
Just a minute, if I ever do.
15, I don't know what you're waiting on.
Oh. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing for the comprehensive land use plan?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, we are now in public hearing.
So I will just jump in. It sounds like we had some corrections starting on page 5. The second paragraph is highlighted in red. The word "the" needed to be added in there, and that was. And then fourth paragraph is also highlighted in red on page 5. We needed to make subdivisions of divisions. We needed to make that plural, so that has been done. Page 6, we had second paragraph, deal and not dealing, so that has been changed. And then also the fourth paragraph, as far as the history, that has also been updated. If there's anything that you guys didn't like in that, let me know and I can get it rechanged. Page 13. Under number 5 for transportation, and then it goes under policies, number 4. There was a lot of "and" in that paragraph, so that has been revised. I also went ahead and changed number 8, so it specifically states the Buchanan County Comprehensive Land Use Plan. Page 15, letter E. I believe we needed to add the word "the," so that has been completed. Environmental quality on page 18. Again, added environmental health. Yes.
Under E, number 2.
On what page?
Amber, I'm on page 15.
Letter E, okay,
Yeah.
number 2.
You changed that. It's red, it's highlighted red.
I thought maybe I did that last time. Okay, so yes, then that was changed as well. That may have been the one where we needed to remove. Oh, we needed to remove commission, okay. So we needed to remove the Iowa Conservation Commission. So that was removed,
Okay,
sorry.
that's all right.
Page 20, location has been updated.
Sorry.
Okay, page 18.
Under environmental quality,
Yes,
number B, it said sewage being improperly disposed of will not be tolerated. It is recommended that all sewage be properly treated to ensure all surface waters and groundwaters in Buchanan County are clean. Practical methods of sewage disposal include state, county, Department of Environmental Health regulations in rural areas will be mandated. Like it's good.
okay.
And then you did number 3 under letter D.
I did. So that one, again, I just put in the word environmental to make sure that there was no confusion between the public health and then the environmental.
Right, so,
Even
yeah.
though we're
Right.
under there. So yes, that was updated as well.
Yeah, page 20.
Okay, so page 20, location at the top, again, was updated. 4 miles, I believe, is what was changed in that one. And then under climate, made sure that that was January 2024. From when that information was pulled. And now I see at the bottom, figure 1 must have jumped up, so I'll get that moved down.
Sure. Yeah, I just found that one too.
Yeah, you know,
It happens. It constant, yeah. Worry about it.
I have a question, Amber. On page 32, it says table 9 age of housing units. Is that for all of Buchanan County?
That's my assumption, yes.
Okay, and so the 2022, the 2020 or later is just 4 years then?
Yep.
Then it just seems, 54 seemed low knowing how many houses have been built
Sure,
in some areas.
yes. I could just put a statement in there when we obtained the information, so it doesn't throw anything off. I
That'd
could
be
do
useful,
that.
yeah.
That would.
Well, I mean, you could, and they could go back to the very beginning of the book too, and it shows when it was updated.
Sure.
Either way.
Okay,
On the second, from 2010 to 2019, we fell down, we lost 200 houses. 150.
other than that, just reviewed the alignments again, hoping that they're all straighter than we were last time, I guess. And then just reviewing the spacing and sentences and making sure that they flow properly. I did have your requests, and some of them I'm not sure if you want to go through them with me.
Yeah, and
I can.
maybe I'll just jump in here and say, I don't think this document's ready. This is, supposed to be a multiple decade document, and it's a hard process. It's so difficult. You've assimilated so many different reports from so many different, I mean, it's a process that takes so long, and it's just impossible to get done right quick. So I just don't feel like this document is ready. There's a lot of paragraph formatting, spacing, things like that we can clean up. We can start utilizing the table features in Word and things like that. I'm happy to help with that stuff. There's some great videos out there on YouTube and Khan Academy and things like that. And like I said, I'm happy to help kind of guide you and not make those recommendations, but say, the technology piece behind it.
Okay.
But and that's just the formatting conversation. Moreover, I don't feel like this starts talking about solar panels if we want.
We have that separate.
Yeah,
This is the land use plan, not the ordinance.
I agree.
It's completely two different.
But if we want to set policy for the next couple decades,
Policy set out the ordinance.
this is it.
No, this is our guidance for establishing policies. And the policies are in our ordinances, which is what we do when we set, for instance, the solar panel discussion or
like what you
wind
guys
turbines.
went through, yes, with the turbines.
Yeah, and that kind of gets into the accessory dwelling units. When we start talking about agricultural A1, we say like that we shall follow what's in this document, which completely omits the discussion of accessory dwelling units and conversations like that. So I don't think that we're trying to overrule state law and things like that. And if we want to just wait till the courts kind of decide on whether or not those laws are valid or invalid or whatever that effect is, then that's fine. But at this point, I feel like we should punt. We should put this back and reformat and take another look at all this.
How long has the commission been working on updating this, Amber?
I wanna say we started May or June of this year.
I'm not gonna kick it back to that commission.
Um,
Because we have our ordinances, Keith, and we have a wind and a solar ordinance that they actually, an amendment for each one of them that has been worked on since by planning and zoning. So all the zoning ordinances have been done and stuff, and this is just the comprehensive land use plan. It's a totally different document
I'm with you.
than that. So, in this regard, it's done.
And I think this is a lot cleaner version than we had in the past.
Well, you folks have done an amazing job
And,
improving this.
And this is actually based on what Intercog did last time.
And I'm hesitant to kick it back to them again. I think they've done a great job.
I just don't see this as a decade document.
Starting,
Well, I think they recommend updating it every 10 years anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This document I don't, the way it's written, the way it's presented, I don't feel like this is something we want to present for the next 10 years. And don't get me wrong, you've done amazing improvements to what you inherited.
I know that the P and Z discussed potentially just updating it every year to make sure that we are in compliance and that we're meeting codes and do stuff like that. So that has been something that they discussed as well.
Yeah, it's a living document and they did update it by the state law, by the state code, so. And the intent is to update it and review it yearly. To make sure that we're still in compliance with state code.
Any other discussion?
Ralph, how often do you do your? I know the city has one. It's not really land use, but it's your growth.
Finished updating it. How long it was before that, I'm not sure. John, do you remember was it done before that?
Can't recall.
I agree.
I know we made some changes to it.
The more we do this, the more it's gonna improve.
There's no other comments. I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the second reading of the comprehensive land use plan.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Amber.
So the third and final reading will be the 13th at 9:15. You guys set that back on September 22nd.
I have a bunch of formatting changes. I'm happy to submit again with your permission, the board's permission.
So you go ahead and work with Amber on anything that,
Okay.
Yeah, at least we can get that much taken care of. But like I said, I'm happy to help with this stuff. This is,
Okay.
it's a challenge.
Okay. Sounds good.
Use your page breaks. Your page breaks will help you keep stuff where it's at.
The page break.
Yeah, that's, well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
to
just
do that.
insert.
No, I want to say it's,
There's a quick key. Yeah, it's like control enter or something like that. It's-
yeah. If you use your paragraph, the little paragraph symbol. Establish where it's at.
okay, next on the agenda, review the bid for the courtroom remodel and repairs. Larson submitted that to us and it's substantial and I think we need to solicit for bids from other contractors.
Right, and it wasn't for what I wanted it for either, if I remember correctly. It was only for the acoustical tiles, and that's the least of my worries.
Yeah,
My biggest worry is the windows and getting that done in the carpet before somebody trips and falls on it.
and the masonry issue.
And the masonry issues, yes.
And for those of us who didn't know, we were still in open session, a public meeting last week. And we discussed this at that same point, but you know, it needed to be reiterated. And I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, what were your thoughts on this, Keith?
It's not what I thought we would expect.
Right,
I mean, yeah, throw some tile on, things like that, but it's not there yet.
right.
I think that as far as priorities, that the acoustical tile is the least on it.
It's the most visible, but
And I could, well, but is anybody really looking at it that close?
we need to worry about the windows,
Yeah.
just like you all said.
Yeah, I mean, we can,
If you're a juror and you're getting rain down your back and you're not looking at the titles.
yeah. It's there for a purpose, not aesthetics, so.
So is the board gonna decide on like possibly a list of items they want a contractor to come in and bid on? So at least then you know what we're getting
Thank you.
That's,
or what you're requesting, I guess I would say.
and, the quote was so vague that, it didn't really get into any specifics, and it needs to. If we could each take some time and write down what you see as priorities, and we discuss it next week in the board meeting as far as prioritization for, contacting the contractor.
Fantastic ideas, yeah.
So put it on the agenda again.
Yeah. Any board and commission updates?
Yeah, I have a few. Iowa Workforce Development, they had, open houses at their Dubuque, and I think that the other one was Decorah, if I remember right. I didn't go to that one. So it was kind of interesting to see, where they were set and the setup that they have. Safety committee, we're redoing the safety manual, so there's all sorts of revisions going through on that. Iowa Northland Regional Housing, I think you caught that one already, so apologize for jumping in on
No,
what
that's
we're
all right.
gonna talk about. Buchanan County Substance Abuse Coalition, we had a farmer's market, booth at the Public Health Week for that. So that was great to get the word out. Somebody wants to else jump in, I've got probably a couple more things I just need to track down.
Presently, I'm working on the EMS 28E agreement between the county, Jessup and Fairbank. Trying to get that, some of the language ironed out in it. I thought we had it, but apparently not. So we're still working on that. The Be Well Committee was going to approve some stuff, and we have since rescinded what we're going to approve. And we're gonna go in a different direction with doing some stuff to help our employees stay mentally and physically healthy. We know when we deal with the public, it can be extremely demanding and take a toll on our health. There's that. And I did meet with Bright Future Iowa, specifically Swati and Gentry, because of the battery energy storage system. I'm not sure about a standalone. I've never, this is a whole new concept. It's a whole new thing. And they have their fingers on the pulse of what's happening in that industry. And they had never seen something like this again. So they're going to check into the company for us because they do have some contacts that we don't have. And they're looking into it as far as if it's been done as standalone features before or not. Also in speaking with planning and zoning, this company had presented to planning and zoning, the same one that presented to us. We were told 15 acres of land and they told planning and zoning 70 some acres of land. So that tells me right now that we've got a discrepancy going on. But we do need to figure out a way to slow this down long enough to get some kind of policy written. My building directions for family meeting, we did not have a quorum, so that got postponed. Stopped into Eddie's office, signed a 501c corp agreement for Friends of the Depot. And other than nails, that was my week. And a lot of phone calls.
Yeah.
Good for me.
The only big one I had was Operation Threshold, on that board. They approved their, financial plans and everything. One thing they wanted to let people know was they're establishing a mobile clinic in Waterloo that people can come into, and they can also move this around. And it'll be in like the parking lot at Operation Threshold where people can walk in. Which is a special opportunity. Our Operation Threshold office here in town is relocated now to next to the Getty downtown, and it's a busy place that does a lot of great work and they serve a lot of people here in Buchanan County, but that office out of Waterloo serves a ton of people, which is huge, so.
You wanna let everybody know what Operation Threshold does?
They assist with the light heat program, which is your energy assistance. They work with clients that are receiving WIC payments, a lot of food insecurities. They have a program called Parents as Teachers, where they try to train parents to be part-time educators for their kids, so that they're involved in what's going on in the student's life. I'm sure Bob can relate to this, that if you have active family involved in your student's education, it makes a huge difference. And a lot of these families they work with are struggling both financially and resource-wise, and this really does help them out. They have their fingers in a lot of different pots.
Another topic, you brought up, speaking of local access and local support, you brought up a point a few weeks ago about Northeast Iowa workforce development. All the locations are moving out to bigger cities, Waterloo, Dubuque, Decorah, kind of conversation. How can we better serve Buchanan County when it comes to having those mobile job search tools available? They have a trailer that they'll set out for free, but kind of comes, what schedule do we put that at? Where would we ask people to host it, conversations like that? Seems like we could have more. You had a great idea, but I mean, we're just struggling about where to go with it. So maybe we put some thought to that and decide how we want to format that conversation with.
Do we have a mobile trailer available?
Yeah, they do.
And this is,
Northeast Iowa Workforce Development, so Iowa Works and that type of thing.
we used to have a office here in Independence.
Right, and now they've elected to take this mobile aspect and put it in a trailer and support any community that asks for it, but of course, we would have to ask for it, so.
Well,
The EOC public health parking lot would be ideal for something like that.
Yeah.
High visibility, it's right by the schools, plenty of room.
Right. The other part is, I mean, if we had, I don't see any of our employers doing a large layoff. It would be perfect if there was a large layoff happening.
But now, actually, speaking of that, now that they're changing the welfare process, I think it's anyone over 6 years of age has to have a job, otherwise they don't get food stamps and conversations like that. So there's big changes going on at the federal level.
You're gonna make our children work?
That's not me. No, the parents. The parents.
Oh, okay. So I'm like,
I was just said
they're
that.
gonna be selling matchbooks on the street
I mean, I
corners.
was working at 6. I don't know what, no, I'm just joking. Thank you for correcting me, my misspoken there. So I think that there are changes coming. I think people need access to that, but how do we establish it? Like, we have a schedule? Do we do it, once every Thursday afternoon kind of conversation? Once a month kind of conversation? What are your thoughts about that?
I would probably go with once a month, but the other part of it is getting the changes out to people. Like, because you have, some people don't do Facebook, they don't do social media.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't have access to a lot of stuff, so they're not getting the same news that other people get. They don't do newspapers. So how do you get the information out to people that don't take those types of media? And that's always been the bigger conversation with any of this.
Put it on our website, that news media, that public, whatever aspect that we have on our page, and then broadcast it out to the newspaper.
But if, yeah.
Facebook and-
But if people don't have access to the technology that you and I, and we're used to it because we
Yeah,
do this all the time,
sure.
but a lot of people don't.
So how do we get the message out? Yeah. Maybe reach out to employers and let them know, but economic development, chamber of commerce.
Right.
A lot of people are not into technology whatsoever, and a lot of people just don't even watch the news. They don't have any idea what's going on.
Sure.
If I didn't want my day ruined, I didn't watch it.
So
Cause you poverty, you know, closer to poverty, start with the school, cause you send notes and not, and I know from experience, not everybody reads those things, but that could be an option. Especially the school's gonna know which children live in impoverished households.
Right.
Thanks, Bob.
And maybe only 30% gets out, but that's 30% more than if they don't have any technology. Just a thought.
That's a good thought.
Increasing the communication between teachers and parents, I mean, that's a heck of a concept itself, thank you.
That comes full circle back around again on childcare for people that are working.
Seriously.
And there's such a huge shortfall in Buchanan County especially.
This
What challenges? And I,
Workplaces, you could have employers put up posters.
Great. We're probably gonna know their buddies that might need that resource. Thank you.
Would the food bank be a prime location? So if you're going to the food bank to get food, you probably are in dire needs.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, and the food bank will hand out literature. They're very good about it, so we just get them literature.
I'm a little worried about the space in that parking lot, but I mean, it's a great idea.
No, I'm not talking about setting up things, just has pamphlets.
Oh, yes, sir.
Information.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Same thing like the school, you are gonna set up in the school, they're gonna put out information to send home to certain kids.
Yeah.
And younger kids are more likely to get home than junior high.
Thanks. I'll push these ideas onto Northeast Iowa Workforce Development. I'm
Right.
sure they'll come up with a great proposal.
It'd be great. It's good if you.
okay, moving on, to public comments.
Thing, one little reminder for you guys, I forwarded an email, I think on Friday, Thursday or Friday. It was from Ryan with the Assured Partners. I would really like to be able to put that on the agenda for next Monday, so you guys can decide how you want to renew. So if everyone can please take a look at it this week, and I guess if you have questions, please let me know.
If you recall, they gave us a couple of options on the renewal. And I think we looked at it and the option number 2, I think, was the,
Yeah,
Recommend.
I believe the email that I forwarded you was from him, and within that email, there's a listing of his recommendations, just as he spoke when he was here last week.
I don't want to give him too much credit, but they've treated us pretty well and, we've, been fortunate that we haven't had any huge increases in our insurance costs
Right.
since we've been with them. Our plan is healthy, so let's move. Plan on having Chris put that on the agenda and we can take action on it next week.
Okay.
Anything else before public comment? We're now open for public comments.
I have a question. Does anybody have 5 minutes to show me the jury room or and the stuff that you're talking about as far as, I've never been up there.
I need to see it again, so.
Sure.
I mean, just quick 5-minute tour, it's interesting. So I mean, I've dealt with school buildings that have had the rain down the windows and ruined the tuck pointing in the buildings
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
We just got the jury room fixed.
Okay.
That's done, but the courtroom is where we have some expensive challenges. So I'd be happy to. Anyone else? Ralph?
Just a question. I had the opportunity yesterday to be on the Kowalski diagonal. And what a tremendous improvement. And I noticed, they've got, a lot of bike paths done and it looked like they
Bike paths.
oh, they're not bike paths?
No, that's a safety shoulder.
It's a safety shoulder?
Which
Yes.
doubles as a
Some-
bike path.
I mean, if a bicycle wants to, use it, but it is
Some people
safety.
said that's gonna be great to ride my bike on, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
assume maybe it's a bike path.
No,
It will
it's not.
be, but we can't publicize it as that because it's not wide enough to be Bike.
Official.
Okay, well, thank you, sir.
But I see, it looked like they're basically at the point of just putting in the
The shoulder.
gravel and side fill, and then
And all the pain, yeah.
So is there a anticipated, depending on weather?
Thank you for
when
asking.
completion is?
Brian, we're still looking at the end of October. To have everything done. But he contacted me early this morning and, Congresswoman Henson's office contacted him. They want to do a ribbon cutting out there this Wednesday at 10:30 a.m.
This Wednesday?
Yeah, and he's gonna get back to me with more details. But,
Kind of feels like that's a little early with not having pavement markings and not having the road open.
I think it has something to do with the congressional schedule. This is when they are out back in their communities, which was working with her schedule a little bit.
Do we want to send the message though that we're having a ribbon cutting ceremony for something that doesn't have pavement markings? That's the part that kind of worries me.
Because people can assume if it's a ribbon cutting, it's open and ready to go.
That's my concern.
People
I
can
was just-
drive
I was just curious.
on it.
It doesn't matter.
That's not, I really don't think that's going to, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I mean.
Yeah.
I was just curious,
Register
some people
available.
have asked me, I said, I've got nothing to do with that, contact the county, you know?
Yeah, I know they've got it's a lot of heavy handwork that they have to do,
Yeah.
getting all those shoulders groomed and
Yeah, that's, you're right.
all of that's the stuff that takes a lot of time. I mean, they can go over a mile a day with that paver, but that other stuff is tedious work.
If you don't pack it in there right and stuff, it's gonna wash off real quick. I was just curious.
Yeah, thanks, Phil.
Anyway, well, if that does materialize, we'll get word out to everybody, but I think it might be a little premature also, but people are using it like crazy, so.
Yeah, and it's open to local traffic, but not necessarily through traffic, I guess is how we have it signed, so.
Anything else for public comment? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn and we can take Mr. Q upstairs and go in the courtroom.
So moved. Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.